Hey, you guys, what's going on? What's happening? It's your girl Tiffany coming here live in effect. So, tonight I want to focus on the subject about blacks in STEM. And for those of you who may not know what STEM is, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. All right, so I want to focus on one particular sister who's go by the name of Dr. Macie Smith. She's a social gerontologist. And for those of you that don't know what gerontology is, gerontology, according to the dictionary, so I have a dictionary here. If my light is too bright for y'all, let me like tone it down a little bit. Hold on, let me see if I can tone this light down. The light is a little too damn bright. Well, maybe y'all can't see it, but anyways, this is the medical dictionary, Merriam-Webster. All right, so gerontology, according to the dictionary, means the comprehensive study of aging and the problems of the age compared, right? And gerontologist is a person that specializes in gerontology. So I'm gonna get into the information about this sister, right? And I am going to play a video clip where she explains, what gerontologist is and what she does as far as her occupation is concerned. So let's go on the website. So Dr. Macie Smith, according to South Carolina State University Education website, all right, she is a chairman, right, from 1995 to what 2002 is a vice chairman of the South Carolina State University Board of Trustees. She is a licensed social worker, gerontologist, and CEO of Diversified Training Consulting Group. She has served on the board of trustees since 2021. All right. So her education is Bachelor of Social Work, South Carolina State University, 1995, Master's Degree Rehabilitation Counseling, South Carolina State University, 2002, Doctorate in Higher Education Leadership, Novia Southern Eastern University, right? And her background is she's a proud HBCU alumni of South Carolina State University, receiving both her bachelor's in social work and master's in rehabilitation counseling. She earned her doctorate in higher education leadership from Novia Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Dr. Smith is a licensed gerontology social worker and an award-winning Alzheimer's and dementia educator and author with over 22 years of experience working with aging and vulnerable population. So Dr. Smith provides support for those living with Alzheimer's, dementia, and cognitive impairment, intellectual developmental disability, traumatic brain injury, and chronic traumatic, what is it, encephalopathy, the encephalopathy, right, CTE, and their families. So she serves as a guardian ad litem and court appointed guardian. Dr. Smith is the owner of Diversified Training Consulting Group, a geriatric care management organization, and the author of a Dementia Caregiver's Guide to Care. All right, so South Carolina State University is located in Orangeburg, South Carolina. All right. So I just wanted to show that website. That's her bio. Now, this is her personal website page. Okay. So this is her page right here. And she was seen on Yahoo News, WIS News Channel 10, Fox number 7, Austin, and Channel 9, NBC. Okay. So this is her book. It's called A Dementia Caregivers, right? It's $9.99, and you could purchase it on Amazon and also at Barnes and Nobles. Okay. And the reason why I showed this because it's very important to recognize our people who are in the STEM program because they don't get enough credit. They are often underrepresented within the science, technology, and engineering mathematics community, right? They don't, a lot of people don't recognize them. So in our community, we tend to think that there's nobody that's in the scientific field of study. And that's not necessarily the case. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to play a video, but I want to give a copyright disclaimer. A Fair Use Act of 1971. Let me go ahead and read it for you. All right. So the copyright disclaimer say under the Title 17 USC Section 107 allowance made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tilts the balance in favor of fair use. Okay. So that's important for me to put that out there. All right. So if you guys want to see what I was reading, all right. So, yep. All right. So that's a copyright disclaimer. All right, then. So I'm going to play a video by her. Let me see. All right. So let me. Give me a moment, you guys. I'm trying to find a video, a good video. All right. All right. So about to go ahead and post the video up.
Dementia. Dementia is considered an umbrella term. Reason being, there are more than 100 causes or 100 types of dementia. The number one type or the number one cause of dementia is Alzheimer's disease. And that's why you hear the terms used interchangeably. Alzheimer's, dementia, and also old-timers, which is not a real thing. When we look at various causes or various types of dementia, there's also vascular dementia that could be caused by several mini strokes or someone having TIAs causing vascular lesions to the brain. Then the third largest type of dementia or the third largest cause of dementia is dementia with Lewy bodies. Then there's also frontotemporal dementia. And some other causes could be alcohol-induced dementia, syphilis-related dementia, or AIDS.
All right, so in this video, she explained the different type of dementia. All right. So she explained what dementia is. So just want to give y'all that clarity.
Dementia complex. All of these areas actually affect the central nervous system and impair someone's cognitive functioning. So let's look at the term dementia in more detail. Dementia is not actually the diagnosis. Dementia is actually the symptoms of a progressive type of disease or a medical condition impairing one's mental faculty. Dementia is a set of symptoms that a person displays or a group of behaviors that the person displays as a result of having a medical condition that's impairing a person's mental faculty. It causes a loss of intellectual abilities. It affects a person's socialization skills and their ability to complete occupational functioning, such as baking a cake, cooking dinner, completing paperwork, driving, remembering directions, and also being able to complete familiar tasks. Alzheimer's disease is the number one cause of dementia, and it is a progressive disease. Alzheimer's disease actually destroys a person's nerve cells in their brain. It affects their ability to carry out basic activities of daily living and also basic bodily functions such as swallowing and also going to the bathroom, toileting. It affects a person's ability to remember things. It affects their ability to communicate and also learn new information. This is a depiction of a brain. You have a fully functioning, what we consider a normal functioning brain. And then there's also a picture of a brain that's afflicted by Alzheimer's disease. You see the shrinkage in the brain. You see the gaps in the spaces also in the brain. Where you see those gaps in those spaces, that means information is not connecting. Nothing is there. This is a picture of a brain scan. It's a PET scan. It shows brain activity. There's normal functioning in terms of the brain activity. The middle picture shows mild cognitive impairment, which has been considered a biomarker for developing a progressive type of dementia or Alzheimer's disease. And then there's a PET scan of a person who has Alzheimer's disease. What do you see in the middle? You see black, you see space, you see nothing. That means there is no brain activity. And so if there's no brain activity, the person won't remember things. They won't be able to communicate effectively, and they won't be able to do things they used to be able to do naturally. Mild cognitive impairment, as I stated, is a biomarker for Alzheimer's disease. Doesn't mean the person is going to get Alzheimer's disease. However, it does increase their risk. Mild cognitive impairment is where a person begins to forget more often than the average person their age and their condition. It could be where a person can change their lifestyle when they begin to experience memory loss and confusion and agitation, and it may prevent the progression to full-on Alzheimer's disease. But it just depends on that person and the ability to recognize the signs in the early stages.
And that's a lot of valuable information. So it's very important that we know about what's going on with our body, what's going on with our mind. It's important that we know that, as we age, there's a decline taking place. So you're declining as you get older. There is a proverb that says life is the beginning of death. So as you grow, right, your body is declining and your brain is going to slowly deteriorate. So, but it's also a blessing when you get older as well, because it shows that you have lived long enough and you've seen a lot of things, and you were able to survive a lot of adversities or a lot of events that took place. So you're able to come here and tell your story, and you can share it for generations to come. So as a matter of fact, speaking of generation, let's I want to introduce this book to you guys so you guys can read it for yourselves. This book deals with elders. All right, so the importance of eldership. All right, so by Dr. Macie being a gerontologist studying older adults who going through the process of aging and also developing dementia and Alzheimer's and various other type of disease that affects the cognitive function, etc. I think this book goes into I think this is a great book to really like talk about the history of eldership during the time of from Africa, slavery, Jim Crow, all the way up to the current present. So this book right here is called Black Elders. Black Elders, The Meaning of Age in American Slavery and Freedom by Frederick C. Knight. So I encourage y'all to get this book, all right, for Black History Month. Black Elders, Frederick C. Knight. And we want to give thanks and honor to those in the African American community or in the Black community in general that are involved in the STEM, because we really need it. We need those who are out here actually doing the work that is necessary for people, for humanity. So we should give appreciation to those who are in biology, those that in chemistry, those who study biochemistry, gerontology, what is it? Epidemiology, bacteriology, etc. Those who are in nanotechnology, biotechnology, engineering, who are mathematicians, they all play an important role for humanity. They all play an important role for our community. And it's sad that they are not given the credit where credit is due. They're not being looked at. We can talk about scholars all day. That's very important. We need scholars. We need educators, right? We could talk about the ancient Egyptian culture. Hell, we don't even talk enough about West Africa or Central Africa history. But we put a lot of emphasis on ancient Egypt. But we don't give enough credit to people who are actually doing what is necessary, taking 4 years, 5 or 6 years to get a degree just so they can educate the people, just so they can do get into their occupational field to help people. You know, I mean, it's really sad that there's a lot of cultural underrepresentation when it comes to Black people. And then we have Black folks who say that they are supporting their community, they are down for the community, they are about Black Americans, etc. But you don't even give credit to what credit is due. You don't even talk about the Black Americans who are really making a difference in the community or just in general. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. I appreciate you guys for coming in, tuning in, watching. So for those of you just coming in, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share the channel, and watch the video from the very beginning. This is a very short video because, you know, this is just something I want to throw out there because it's Black History Month, and we should also just acknowledge those who are alive and who are still around doing their work they are given to do. So we need to acknowledge those people while they still here. And there's a long list of Black scientists. There's a long list of Black scientist educators. There's a long list of Black people that's in the STEM. If you can use the internet for other things, you can look up the list of Black folks that's in the STEM program. Because if you want representation, you got to do the research. Again, if you want representation, you got to do the research. You got to do the homework assignment. All right, you guys, have a great evening. Peace and power and elevation. Until next time, this is your girl Tiffany, and I'm out.